My family invited me to a reunion to celebrate my cousin's promotion to VP. As everyone clapped, my uncle laughed and said, "Some people peak early." I should have walked away, but I'd been listening to this for 6 hours straight. I'm the family screw-up, dropped out of college sophomore year, bounced between retail jobs for a while, lived in a basement apartment with mold creeping up the corners. My cousin Tyler, corner office at 32, company car with heated seats, expense account that could fund a small country, golden child since birth. When Tyler got an A, they threw parties. When I got an A, they asked why it wasn't an A+. The reunion was at my aunt's lake house, one of those sprawling places with a dock and a boat they use twice a year. Tyler stood on the deck in his tailored navy suit, tie loosened just enough to look casual, soaking up praise like he'd cured cancer instead of just climbing the corporate ladder. My mom kept apologizing to relatives for bringing me, pulling them aside with that embarrassed smile. "He's going through a phase," she'd whisper, like I was 12 instead of 28. I wore jeans and a flannel because I'd come straight from my apartment. Nobody asked how I was doing. They asked Tyler about his promotion, his vacation to Switzerland, his new condo in the city. I grabbed a beer from the cooler and sat on the edge of the group, invisible as usual. My aunt brought out a cake, actual cake, with "Congratulations VP Tyler" written in blue frosting. They sang, they cheered. Tyler gave a speech about perseverance and seizing opportunities, and I watched my relatives nod like he was delivering a TED Talk. My dad clapped the hardest, beaming with pride he never showed me. After dinner, my uncle stood up with his whiskey glass, swaying slightly. He was the family loudmouth, the guy who always had opinions about everyone else's life. "I want to make a toast," he announced, voice booming across the deck. Everyone quieted down. "Tyler represents what hard work looks like. Dedication, focus." He paused, then looked directly at me. "Some people give up when things get difficult. Some people take the easy way out." The table went silent. A few relatives shifted in their seats. My mom stared at her plate. Tyler didn't even try to hide his smirk, swirling wine in his glass like he was in a cologne commercial. My uncle continued, "Tyler didn't quit when college got tough. He pushed through. That's the difference between success and..." He gestured vaguely in my direction. "Well, whatever that is." A few people actually laughed. My cousin Jessica snorted into her napkin. My dad nodded slowly, like my uncle had just shared ancient wisdom. I felt my jaw tighten. I'd spent years listening to this. Every holiday, every birthday, every family gathering. The comparisons, the disappointment, the thinly veiled insults disguised as concern. I was tired, not angry, just exhausted from being the punchline. I took out my phone slowly, deliberately, opened my banking app while my uncle was still talking about the importance of not being a quitter. Then I stood up and turned the screen toward the table. The blue light from my phone cut through the dim patio lighting. "What is that?" Tyler squinted, leaning forward. "My bank account," I said calmly. Last month's deposit sat there, clear as day. Freelance web development. Started teaching myself after I dropped out. Been building sites and apps for startups for 3 years now. My aunt's fork froze halfway to her mouth. My uncle's whiskey glass hung in midair. Tyler's smirk vanished. "I work from that basement apartment you all love to joke about," I continued. "Clients don't care where I live. They care that I deliver clean code on time." I scrolled to show a few months of deposits, all consistent, all substantial. No office politics, no commute, no dress code. My mom's face went pale. My dad was staring at the phone like it was written, but in another language. "Tyler," I said, looking at my cousin directly, "congrats on VP. Seriously, that's a solid accomplishment." I paused, let the moment sit. "Maybe in 5 years, after your salary catches up, we can actually compare numbers." I zoomed in on the deposit amount so everyone could see it clearly. $18,400. I clear about 18 grand a month, sometimes 25 if I take rush projects. I grabbed my keys from the table and walked toward the driveway, while 30 relatives sat in complete silence.